My name's Aaron Cairo, and I'm a professional skateboarder from the San Francisco Bay Area. I've been skateboarding for over 20 years and teaching people how to ride their boards for a very, very long time. Today I'm going to give you a breakdown of how to skateboard for beginners. Now keep in mind, this is a beginner's tutorial, so we're going to start out with the most basics. It's figuring out which foot you're going to put forward. This is one of the most important and sometimes the most confused things for a beginner skateboarder. You're either going to have your left foot forward like that or your right foot forward like that. Usually what I tell kids is, if you're going to run and slide on a sheet of ice or run and slide on something slippery, which foot would you put forward? It's very important to figure that out early on because you can get confused with having the wrong foot forward and then just having a lot of troubles learning how to push. So spend enough time to sort that out properly. Once you do sort that out, we're going to get into learning how to push. Learning how to push on a skateboard is very similar to walking. So that's why I tell kids, just walk up to your board, put the front foot forward, and step onto the board and give it a push. It's interesting in that when you do push on a skateboard, your front foot is straight. Your front foot is straight on the board just like when you're walking. But when you're actually riding on a board, your front foot goes sideways. So you have to put in some practice transitioning your front foot from being straight on the board to being sideways on the board. Because when you're doing the push, your front is going to go straight like that, and then you're going to step on the board with your back foot and then transition your foot straight so you can ride. All of your tricks are going to be done with your foot like that in the riding position. Only the push is where your front foot goes forward like that, so you can step off with your back foot and push. Now the proper way to push on a skateboard is with your back foot. The other way is just not so proper, it doesn't feel as comfortable, and you'll end up struggling to learn to push with your back foot later on. So it's very important that you just learn it the correct way the first time. So figure out which foot you're going to put forward and then practice pushing with your back foot. No matter how awkward that feels at first, you just have to get used to doing it. And then the more and more you do it, you'll just get used to it and it'll become second nature. Once you do learn how to push on a skateboard, it's very, very, very important that you just let yourself ride around that board a lot. A lot of times I feel like people get too eager when they're very first starting out to the skateboard and they just want to go straight into learning how to kickflip. But it's very important to take it back to the basics and just learn to ride around a ton. After you're really comfortable just riding straight on your board, we're going to learn how to do some turns. This is called a kick turn right here. There are two basic ways to turn on your skateboard. One is called a kick turn where you lift the front wheels off the ground, and the other is a carving turn where you actually lean into the board and turn from side to side. In order to do the carving turn, you're going to need your trucks a little bit looser so you have some bend in them. That is the most fun way to turn if you ask me. Just lean to the side and let it turn. For the kick turn, you have to apply some pressure to your back foot and lift your front trucks up and then turn. That's also very important to learn just so you can get both of those down. And you got to remember, these are the basics, so it's very, very important that you spend a really good amount of time just learning how to turn, getting very, very comfortable with your board, just pushing around. When I was a kid, we used to just get on our skateboards and just ride down the street. We would ride the skateboard everywhere. Ride it to school, ride it to your friend's house, ride it to the store. No matter what we were doing, we seemed to just always have our skateboards. So again, I just want to make it very, very clear and very important that the more time you spend on your skateboard, the more comfortable you're going to get with it. And really anything you can do to get more comfortable with your skateboard, even if it's just having it with you all the time, carrying it, then put it down and do a couple pushes and roll around. Anything that you do like that's going to make you a better skateboarder in the end. You can even do some very, very, very beginner like silly tricks like this. Put your board laying grip tape side down with your front foot underneath it. You just have your toe right underneath that board and then you just lift up with your toe, jump onto the board, and then give it a push. Just a very, very simple basic trick that pretty much anyone can learn right away. Once you get into doing harder tricks, you're going to start out in a very exact sequence. It's going to be ollie, front side 180, back side 180, pop shove, front shove, heel flip, and then you're going to end off that with the kickflip. These are all of the tricks that are gone over in Skateboarding Made Simple Volume 1, which is the video for beginners to get. It's available as a digital download. It's available on iTunes and Google Play. It takes you through the most detailed how to push tutorial I've ever made, which does include turning, both kinds of turns, and then it takes you up through all of those tricks. Ollie, frontside 180, backside 180, pop shove, front shove, heel flip, and kick flip. So get the video, learn to skate, and have an awesome time skating for the rest of your life.